Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be reviewing the first video for one of my favorite carriers in the game, Malta. We have done a similar video in regards to the Ice Malta. However, we used the second layout for the first bomber, so this is still technically new. Regardless though, going back to Malta herself, she is a really fun carrier, and I hope you enjoy her as much as I do if you ever get her. So first, let's see what we have on our ship. We have 71,200 health, which is really good. We have 30% torpedo damage resistance, again, really good, up to 6 inches of armor. We have some Citadel armor, and we have a very long armored deck. So the entire deck is armored instead of just the midship sections. So hopefully we should have some protection against dive bombs. We've seen that with Illustrious and Audacious, not so much on Implacable. So hopefully this one will continue that trend. And let's see what else we have. We have 8 secondary gun turrets arranged in the same layout. 2 here, 2 there, and then astern we have 2 there and 2 there. You're definitely not going to want to be in secondary range of anything. As much armor as this ship may have, it's all on top. And what little bit you do have amidships will not save you. You can still be citadeled quite easily. Anti-aircraft guns. We have 64 anti-aircraft guns with fully spec'd for AA. These are what the stats are. You're going to knock down a absolute boatload of aircraft with this. So yeah, very strong AA wise. In aircraft, we have 115 aircraft. So very high number of aircraft as well. I think it's only 5 aircraft short of Midway. And then the aircraft for Shinano is actually just changed just recently, and I think it was the last update. So we now have 85 aircraft base, and then we get 14 aircraft for our frontline reload station. So that's what, 99. Alright, so I think you're actually going to get more aircraft for the Shinano, but they don't survive nearly as long as Malta or Midway aircraft. So in all essence, this one might be really good. Well, it's really good regardless. All right, moving on. You are the size of an absolute supercarrier, so I did assume your detectability and concealment and maneuverability is all going to reflect that. 33 knots. We are still really fast. So we saw Audacious being the slowest tier 9 carrier. However, Malta goes to match Midway in speed, I'm pretty sure, and is faster than Shinano because she goes 27 knots. Alright, so those were the base stats for the ship. A wonderful little ship we have. You can just see the amount of anti-aircraft guns just completely lining her deck. It's kind of like the American philosophy: if there's a room on the deck, put a gun there. And as you can see, that is quite, like, they even have one up here and then one up there. So yeah, a lot of good AA defenses. Now we have 2 different layouts and again we have alternate bombers. So there will be 4 videos for this ship again. The first layout is the same one that we had for the final Audacious layout: 2 squadrons of fighters, 2 squadrons of torpedo bombers, and 2 squadrons of dive bombers. And then the last one is 2 squadrons of fighters, 3 squadrons of torpedo bombers, and 2 squadrons of dive bombers. Now this one is my personal favorite. And we have our base aircraft, so we can upgrade them to the next level, which gives us, in terms of fighters, we get more speed, more health, more kill efficiency, higher ranking. We do lose some ammo. And then I prefer to see, should I go for these? Well, that's a lot of health. So maybe, I'll go with the health and the kill efficiency because if I want my fighters to be anti-aircraft bait, I want them to have more health so they last longer to protect my own strike aircraft, and also higher kill efficiency. So if I am in a air superiority role, they have a better chance of knocking down fighters like they're intended to. Not so much in regards to speed. If I can't shoot the targets, then they'll just escape me, and that's fine. Alright, so the torpedo bombers that we're going to be using today are the 40-knot torpedo bomb or 40-knot torpedoes that have the aircraft themselves, or the damage themselves is not high as it can be. And then we'll also be using the dive bombers that have pretty decent bomb damage, good fire chance, and good speed and durability. So we've already seen these many times before in the past, so you all know the routine. So let's see what we can do with our aircraft today. However, I do want to also mention you now have jet fighters, and we also have wyverns. So really powerful aircraft, and they're really pretty aircraft as well. All right, so let's toss her into game and see what we can do. All right, here ourselves a game. We have one carrier, 3 battleships, and quite a few cruisers, and only 1 destroyer. So let's see what we are going against today. Surprisingly, we're going up against matchmaking tiers 8.5s and 9s and 9.6s. I would expect at least tier 10s, but we got a kind of low tier game today. So 2 Yamatos, not too worried about. We have an Iowa, pretty decent AA. Minotaur, Alaskas have pretty decent AA, as well as Fletcher. And Takaos have pretty much nothing as well. Alright, so we're going to start by moving our carrier up this way. Something like that. Alright, and we're going to bring out all of our strike aircraft out this way. Well, actually, all of our aircraft in general, including our fighters. Because there are just enough anti-aircraft ships on the enemy team that I think I'm going to use my fighters as AA bait again. Also, I know I really like Audacious, but Malta is such a pretty ship as well. They just have the same kind of look. Alright. So let's see what we can do for this game. Our fighters are out, our dive bombers are on their way now, and then our torpedo bombers will follow up lastly. We can already see the Yamato. That'll be a good target for us. I don't think we will ever be able to one-shot it unless we detonate it, which is also a pretty low chance. But we can get a good chunk of damage on her. Alright, so let's take a look to see what we have for aircraft or enemy ships. We have an Alaska, 2 Alaskas, and an Iowa, of course. We have a Fletcher and a Yamato, Takao. That's a cow and a Minotaur. And the Malta. Alright, so everything is spotted. A lot of strong AA ships on my side, but that is okay. We can still take them out relatively easily if we get the right drops. Alright, so let's see. Let's go after this Alaska first. And then my dive bombers can get ready for a strike on the Iowa, I think, is what I want to do. Alright, so I have the fast torpedoes, which means I don't have to worry too much about giving lead. Something like that should be good. But I still think we're going to miss a couple. Ooh. And those 2 are all that we would have needed to sink her. So let's just bring out... well, maybe we can go after the Yamato here. I don't think that would be too bad. Alright, so our dive bombers are in position. Let's see here. Before the Iowa comes in, let's see if we can get some damage on this Yamato. I could try and go for an easy kill on the Alaska, but I have the bombs that have fire chance, so if I can set fires on this Yamato, that'll help me in the long run. And 2 fires and 15,000 damage. I will definitely take that. Okay, let's get away before another fighter, or catapult fighter, interrupts our fighters. And we already lost squad 1 and half of squad 2, but they did their job, and that is what is important. Alright, I'm going to bring out squad 1 again before my torpedo bombers. Alright, squad 1's heading out. Let's bring our torpedo bombers out next. Alright, so let's see, how is our team? We already lost 1 cruiser, but they lost 3 cruisers and a destroyer. So we're pretty much wiping the floor with them right now. That looks like a pretty juicy target. Alright, so our torpedo bombers are coming back out. I think we're going to go after that Yamato. If she doesn't take a lot of damage herself... And then we'll use our dive bombers on whatever the next best target is. We're going to move a little bit more to the north here. Alright, torpedo bombers, come over here, please. And feel free to drop there. That should give us as many hits as possible. Obviously, I don't expect it to sink Yamato, but it's still going to be a ton of damage. Alright, dive bombers over here. Fighters are all going to be lost. I didn't see if we had a flooding on the Yamato, but it doesn't matter since we will be dive bombing here to see if we can get some fires. 1 fire, 10 bomb hits for quite a bit of damage as well. As you can see, we never were able to one-shot that Yamato, but we got it down to quite low health. Alright, where is our squad 2? Squad 2 is out here, fully spec'd. Squad 1 can come out as well whenever she's ready. I think that Yamato is still burning. We may still get the kill. Nope, never mind. She went down to another team member. That's fine with me. Alright, and then our torpedo bombers can come out whenever they are ready as well. And now we just have to sit back and wait for them a bit. That Iowa is still full health. I think that will have to be our next target. And that Takao is actually shooting down my fighters. So I think we're going to torpedo the Iowa, and if the Yamato is still up, we can dive bomb her for an easy kill, or the Takao. Alright, so let's bring our dive bombers out as well while we perform our torpedo strike here. I think we're going to have to dive bomb to Cal, though I'm going to start turning because she's really close. Actually, let's do something like that. The secondaries are opening up on the Takao, not that I really expect them to do much though. And torpedoes are all going to land on Iowa. And I expect that to be a sinking. And then let's see what we can do with our dive bombers. That doesn't look terrible. Not the best. But you know what? It's just what we need because that was 2 fires and 7 bomb hits. That will definitely sink her. Alright, so our fighters can come over here now. I didn't get a look to see what spare aircrafts we had before we all started, but we're still doing really good strike-wise. Fighters, we have lost quite a few of them, but I mean, it's lasted us the entire game, and we still have at least one full squadron left. So I will take that. I swear torpedo bombers are going to be up next. Those will have to go after the carrier because the Yamato will be able to be sunk with just dive bombs. Which is fine with me. Okay, so we're going to start bringing our fighters over this way. Put you around squad 2. Squad 4 needs to take off. There we go. And then let's head down towards this carrier all the way down here. And in the meantime, we can bring out our dive bombers. Actually, let's kind of go over here first so we don't fly right over Yamato. She may not have the best AA, but I don't really want to lose any more aircraft than I should. Alright, now let's bring them over here. Let's get dive bombers ready for the Yamato. We are really, really close to her, so we kind of have to do this now. Only 2 bomb hits, but we did start a fire. And you know what? I'll secondary brawl Yamato. Not that I'll ever actually do anything to her, but it's funny to watch. And we're not the only ones shooting her. And we do still have that fire going. Alright, so our aircraft are still not down near the carrier yet. But let's see here. They need to start heading this way. There goes the Yamato. Let's see here. Do we want to get into B? Well, B is technically under our control, but that's fine. Now let's start bringing our dive bombers out too once they reload. And our torpedo strike is out for the carrier. Alright, so our fighters are engaging the enemy quite a big number on the enemy carrier ourselves. Let's see, where are our fighters? Let's finish off this squad, though I don't think we can. We only have 3 aircraft left. And there we go. The carrier sunk. Let's see how we did. We had a pretty fun game. Alright, so we did 274,000 damage, 2 ships sunk, 35 torpedo hits, 27 bomb hits, 10 aircraft shot down, 6 fires, 4 floodings, 39 secondary hits for 6,200 base XP. We had 36,000 damage in fires and floodings, 2,000 damage in secondaries, 190,000 damage in torpedoes, and 46,000 damage in bombs, for honestly quite a few targets. So yeah, this ship is really, really powerful, and she only gets better from here. So as we saw, those torpedo bombers are definitely going to be a big power punch in regards to damage. Your dive bombers are quite useful as well. We never got a chance to show off the AA or the armored flight deck, so hopefully in the next few days we'll be able to do that. And then, yeah, your secondaries are trash, but that was expected. And your good speed, maneuverability was able to have me dodge torpedoes, at least from the Takao. This is just a really, really good all-around balanced ship. She has good AA and armor for defense. She has good strike potential and fighters for offense. And to top it all off, she's a beautiful looking ship. So I have no complaints. So that will wrap up today's video. Tomorrow we'll be going over the same exact layout with the 2-2 and 2. However, we will be equipping the slower torpedoes and the more damaging bombs. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care now.